You can now tell your embarrassing story or whatever it was.
This gentle human today messaged me on Scruff, and he was like, "Hey," and I was like, "Hey," and he was like, "You're into kinks, right?" And I was like, "I'm okay with them, yeah." And he was like, "Will you poop on me?" And I had to, for the now ninth time, be like, "I am the wrong girl to do this with. Like, I am not judging you. I have severe IBS. Leave me alone." And I had to be very like, "Please stop. I am not the girl. I am not the one. I am not the fantasy."
I used to get so many messages like that to where I'm just like not on anything right now. It'd be like, oh, because I'll just be like, I'm pretty like much into a lot, with limits. Because the last time I said I'm pretty much into anything, someone was like, do you like dead people? And I was like, all right, we gotta specify this when
Yeah.
people talk to me because I'm not into that. And they'll be like, can you? There was this one, and if I can find the screenshot, I'll post it. But it was like, I want you to make a shit patty burger for me and give it to me to eat, and then
The
piss.
secret formula, crusty crab.
And then it was like, make a piss smoothie. And I was like, I didn't respond at all. I just deleted my account after that.
See, this one guy, he messaged me and he was like, "Hey," and he was like, "Do you want to go for a run at the park really early in the morning?" And I was like, "Oh, like outdoors, cute, sure." So I was like, "Yeah," and then he was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Maybe you can get there before me, and then like I'll come like behind you and like catch up with you." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cute, like discreet, got it, like fully understanding." And he was like, "Maybe like also like when does the sunrise?" Like that day. And I was like, let me Google it. And I was like, the sunrise at like 5 a.m., like 5:50. And he was like, work, we should go at like 5. That way we're before the sun rises. And I was like, oh, so like we can like be like secretive. Like this is so cute. And he was like, yeah. So then I could like run up behind you while you were like running alone in the dark. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, and then I could tackle you and punch you in the face and then like drag you off. And then we could like have hot sex while you fight me. And I was like, oh, that did not go the way that I was envisioning. And
Huh.
I'm glad that we communicated that now because I would have been very confused.
You would have met up with someone at 5 a.m.?
Knowing me, no, but I would have hopes that I could. But like, I'm not even up before noon, but like, I had high
Zanny, if
hopes.
someone's like, hey, let's meet up at a obscure time where it's really dark in the middle of like a park, they're probably gonna kill you. So don't ever
I
do
think
that.
that was his intent. And then I was like, maybe I'll have to think about it. And then he was like, and then I can shit on your face. And I was like, no, that's my limit. And then my friend was like, your limit wasn't getting beaten up and dragged in the woods at 5 o'clock in the morning.
From
Like
being
your
murdered.
limit was,
Your limit was being after being murdered, being shit on.
yeah. I said,
I
don't do that to
shit
my
on your
body.
grave. Yeah,
Don't disrespect me.
you're so stupid.
Yeah.
I can't with you. Hello, uglies.
Hello,
Welcome.
uglies.
Welcome to Stay on the Line, a horror genre podcast hosted and created by me, Terrah. And every week we bring in a guest to talk about something horror genre related. We are stuck with Zanny still. Aw, jeez.
Oh, dang it.
While we reviewed the Dragula Season 4 series. And today's episode is Dragula Season 4, Episode 4. And you can probably hear it in my voice. I'm not feeling well. The fact that I'm recording this podcast now, don't know why. I don't feel great. It's not COVID. It's just my whole household has the flu. So, tubular. Sandy, how are you doing?
I'm great. I'm surviving and thriving as always.
As always?
As semi always. Also, if you noticed, for the people who are watching the video right now, you can see in Terrah's glasses that is the sun because for the first time we are recording during a normal time. So I'm kind of awake right now and happy and refreshed. I went to a concert last night. My serotonins are at a 10.
Serotonin. Ain't she the governor of Alaska?
Oh, yeah. Can you? Oh my gosh, my Sarah Palin is acting up today. I need to be happier. Oh my god, what does your mug say?
We were just saying, because I was like, it says hot stuff, which I was saying earlier, people who get like phrases and things on their mugs, who is it for? Because it's not for your guest or like people around you who are going to see your mug, because who's likely to see your mug all the time?
Yeah.
You. So it's for you to be like, don't talk to me when Monday retweet.
Me to my seven
That ass
voices in
hunty
my head.
sis finna poop on you. Don't you ever forget.
Then I poop on you and chase you down. Also, look, I have a surprise visitor to the viewers.
Poop on you and chase you down.
That's gonna be my coffee mug.
I'm gonna poop on you and chase you down.
I'm gonna chase you down, kill you, tie you up, poop on you on a Monday, and I just drink my coffee out of it.
And I'm gonna shit on these walls, Ray. All right, so we watched episode 4.
Yeah, so we are on episode
Dragula.
4, and they open, which this is one of my favorite openings. I don't know if it was because it was just a bunch of beautiful, beautiful, almost naked gentlemen and butts across the screen. I think that could possibly have something to do with it.
That's how the vampire episode opened.
I know, but this was just my favorite. This one just felt more realistic because they were at a strip club and no one was there. It was very COVID friendly, it looked like.
Very much looked like your shows. No one was there.
Oh, no, ma'am. I have people at my shows.
Can you name them on one hand?
Yeah, no, I could name them on one finger. Myself. No.
Trist. Oh, no, he's not there.
Yeah, occasionally, sometimes. As Lady Gaga once said, 99 people cannot be there as long as one is there. Something along those lines.
I wanted to say something first before we get into
dive in.
this. Because I said that What's-Her-Name's look was inspired by a Terry Mugler look worn by Naomi Campbell. It was worn by Connie Fleming. Naomi Campbell wore a different look. I wanted to say that out. Continue with this episode.
I have to clear the air.
Which no one asked, but I was like, I have to get this right because Connie Fleming is an icon.
You said, and I need to get my references down, mama.
Terry Mugler referenced in this episode as well, too.
That. I was gagged. I literally wrote down another Mugler. They are in a strip club, and basically there's this, like, stripper, and he's feeling his fantasy, and he, like, approaches the boulets, and they're kind of like, they're into him. They're throwing some money, etc., etc. But when he gets really close, he accidentally knocks over one of their mugs, and it says, like, yes, hunty mama, the gag boots. No, it's just a cup. But knocks it over, it spills on one of them, and so they, like, snap their finger, and this beefy, beautiful man comes up and wraps his thighs around, him and kills him. And then it starts the show. Around his neck.
He didn't
around his neck. He
didn't like sever him in half with his legs, which would have been kind of kind.
He could. They were beautiful thighs.
I wish they had the head explode, because you can crush watermelons with your legs.
Yeah, they could have done something a little bit more like grotesque. Like, that was kind of compared to the extermination last week, where it was like this corpse on a stick, it burnt up. I kind of expected a little bit more than thighs.
That would have been for the exterminated person. They do like the same thing. I wish they had the head explode.
Yeah, or just like maybe like something a little bit more chaotic.
But yeah, it's the next day. They're all talking about like who went home. It was Coco. Coco went home. Yeah. Saint comes in. What does Saint say?
I just know like one of the really good quotes is like when Sigourney like enters, she's like, "Yeah, I'm feeling injured," and someone's like, "Well, how's your injury?" And she's like, "My injury feels injured."
Very injured.
Very injured.
Oh, Saint said, "I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me."
Oh, yeah. Saint said, "I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me." And enters. So they have like a little talk about, Coco, and all of them start like shaking their tits in memory of Coco, which I thought was just so stupid and funny. And then they kind of announce who our special guest is, which is going to be Poppy, who is a cult icon.
Yeah, they bring him out to the stage because they tell him the challenge, which
the challenge is the Monster Rock Show.
They do this every season except for the first one, of course. So they split up into 2 groups. They have to lip sync to a Poppy song in front of Poppy. Well, yeah, in front of Poppy because Poppy is there. Because they do the Runways first, and then they do the band challenge. And then they walk out in their band looks, which I don't like.
So it's confusing because I don't know if I just missed or dissociated, but I didn't think they specified that. So I was like, these looks aren't uniformed, and they don't make sense. And then they came out in a completely other look, and I was like, what?
No, they specified that. They said that we're gonna let their solo Runways go first, and then they did their solos, and then they were like, uglies, we're doing the band, and then they went into that.
This moment is like making me process like maybe the things that I miss in real life, because my mind shuts off, because I'm like, I did not even hear that.
It deadass happened, hunty. Yes, God.
it deadass did, you little dumbass little bitch ass little fucking stupid ass bitch.
They decide to make the groups. And also Rachel True is a guest judge too. She was in The Craft. She was a judge last season. She was really good.
Speaking of her, okay, so this is no disrespect to her. I did not realize how much older she was, because when I watched her on The Craft, she looked so young. But I was like Googling the cast, and she was 30 when she recorded the Craft. But like she was 30 playing a high schooler. So when I watched it, my mind like associated her as like young 20s, whatever. So now like that movie's been out for like 10 years or whatever, 10, 15 years, and she's like in her 40s or...
That movie's been out for like 20 years.
Oh, so now it's been out for like 20 years and she's, you know, living her mature life. It like makes sense and like it all adds up. But when I saw her come out, I was like, oh my gosh, she's aged so much. And then I was like, no, she was just a 30-year-old. Yeah, she looks great. So then when I like did the connection, I was like, no, she was just 30 playing the age of a 17-year-old.
The Crowd came out in 1996. This movie was 25 years ago.
Oh my Lanta.
But yeah, she's good. She's always a good guest judge. She was also on their podcast as well.
Yeah, she's good.
The Creatures of the Night.
Creatures of the Night.
I forgot the podcast name.
Creatures of the Night. That's what it was.
Period, poo.
Period, poo.
They explicitly say, we're going to split these teams up to see who will not mesh well. Which, I feel like it was kind of not even on that.
Yeah, kind of is an understatement because the other team, I was like, y'all don't even have any problems. Just for the viewers, the teams were, Sigourney was the leader and the lead singer. That's a very important statement for later on.
They specify that. They say that out loud.
Yeah, they're very like, you are the leader, you're the lead singer, you are in charge. So it's Sigourney, Mary Cherry, J. Jolie, and Bitter Betty. The other team has Dolly as the lead singer and the lead, and then it's Saint, Zavaleta, and Hoso. Which, like, I don't even understand how there's drama in that group, because everyone in that the second group seems to really honestly get along. The only thing is, like, Zavaleta's a little bit loud of a person, but they're also, like, the past few episodes we've known, they've, like, really opened up and, like, been very comforting and very kind to everyone and, like, have kind of, you know, turned a new leaf, so to speak. So there's real drama.
Anytime there's a group challenge, Zavaleta's not going to fucking start drama with her own fucking teammate.
Yeah, like, very smart person. They're very much so, like, we need to get to work and we need to start now. Like, we are a work person. So that group, to me, has no drama, and the other group is, like, literally everyone and anything.
Yeah. The other team, Dolly's team, I'm just going to say Dolly's team because I don't remember their fucking names. It doesn't really matter. Dolly's team has 2 people who have won challenges so far, and the other 2 who haven't won challenges have been in the tops, mainly, the whole time they're there. And then the other team has been, like, bitches who have been safe, and then bitches who have been in the bottom, extermination. So I felt like that was not an even balance. Like, they should have added, like, Mary to Dolly's team and switched it out for Hoso to feel like it was a little bit more balanced.
Very that. Very, very, very that.
Because you had the high team and the wins, and then you had the high and mainly safe and low. It wasn't balanced.
It was not. There was no balance. But what they did get to win is they got to win a cover with the Heavy Metal magazine, and they got like custom art with that, which is really exciting. So yeah, it was really cool. It was like they said it was one of the most like intense prizes they could have gotten this season. That's what someone said. They were like, this is like the prize to win. Like, we have to win this.
Mind you, they've only had like 3 prizes this season so far.
Yeah, so I was like, So yeah.
Because Saint didn't get one. I don't think Saint ever got a prize.
No, they didn't. Either they did or but they didn't mention it. It was very like, but that episode also was very like.
But yeah, we're back in the boudoir. And the other team's doing well. And the other team, meaning Dolly, we don't really see much of them. Like, their rehearsal goes well. They're like, we're each gonna have a solo. No one's really having any bickering. Well, I think we all sing. And
they actually were like getting along because like someone was like, oh, like Hoso's not getting a good part. Like, we should really make sure it's equal. So they were like very much even like, let's think about other people. Like, let's be, you know, like let's really make sure that we as a team are like being cohesive. Which I really liked. But then it cuts to the other team.
Right out the bat. And arguing.
Like, Mary does not even give Sigourney the chance to like even be like, hello, I'm the leader. Just like immediately starts bickering and like immediately starts, you know, poking. And my conspiracy theory is that they were like, the Boulets were like, we're teaming you up for the teams that have the most drama. So I think in Mary's mind, they were like, I have to create drama. Because it was so overly dramatic and so intense that I was like, you've got to be doing this because you think this is what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, it was too much. It was way too much. And it wasn't a break because after Mary would be done, I was thinking, oh, Jade and Betty will at least be like the middle ground. No, because they start like, Jade is, like, the only one who isn't, like, fighting with Sigourney, but then Jade gets in an argument with Bitter Betty about gags, because Jade is like, we need to have a gag. I was like, oh my god, girl, put the props away.
That part,
Y'all
I was
are
like, we
doing
get
too
it.
much.
You survive on your gags. We get it. You ate the worms. You did the head with the slime. You did the pouring the sunscreen. You did your 37 gags. Like, just let him go.
I want to point out, I saw a poll on YouTube, because I'm on YouTube a lot, and it was like, who do you think slayed this challenge? Like, the last one? And a majority, like, well over, like, 50% of people were like, Jade Jolie slayed the challenge. I was like, she really didn't, though.
With the cowboy boots?
Safe. Yes! They were like, she slayed. I was like, y'all are biased, because she really did not do much.
My cat, I don't know if you can hear this. My cat is in their litter box, and they're just playing right now. So if you can...
I can hear a little bit of it.
Yeah, then I'm going to go kick them out. Get out of your litter box, boy. It's not a sandbox. It's a poop box. Thank you.
She got her cats playing with shit. We don't do that at my house. But yeah, like, there's not much to say other than they're just bickering so much to where it's... Like Dolly said, it's not even, like, bad to watch. It's uncomfortable. It's like, cringy to watch.
Cringy. My anxiety skyrocketed. I was, like, getting, like my blood pressure. Everything was just, like, my body was really, like, this is so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And like you said, it was, like, they would, like, Jade... While Jade did not get involved necessarily, they definitely would, like, instigate with Mary. And, like... you could obviously see what Mary was doing, and I'm sure in the workroom you could even see it 10 times better.
Yeah.
That's an assumption, though. But, like, Mary would just go on her tangent and do her thing, and then, like, would say something, and Jade would be like, actually, and I'd be like, girl, no, don't get involved. Just back up, let it happen.
Well, it's because Mary would intentionally bring Jade into it. She was like, no, Jade, I'm not the only one that has to say something. You have to say something, too.
Yeah.
And then Mary and Sherry, they also go off before they bicker more. They go off and Jay talks about being on that other show, quote unquote, about, like, worrying about the edit, which makes sense. You know, if you've already been on a show like that and you weren't perceived well, you're going to carry that with you, even though it was 10 years ago. So they try to work that out. It doesn't really go anywhere because, like I said, they fight later.
See, and that's what was confusing is, like, and that's why I was like, what are you doing? What are you trying to do this episode? Because they were like, attack, comfort, and then walk into the room and immediately the guns are out again. And I was like, Linda, why did you have this whole comforting moment? Also, I did notice when they were having their side thing, I was like, Mary literally still has green in their ear. Like, when she turned sideways, she still had the green paint from her
Bitch, I've been there. Bitch, I have been there.
He's like, Linda.
Bitch, one time, I don't even know how, but I made breakfast and there was, like, peanut butter, like, I'm like, oh, on my neck.
One time
and I didn't notice
meatloaf,
it's like...
And I had meatloaf on my ceiling for 2 days and I didn't know.
Anyway, so when they're with Sigourney's group, they're like, oh, we have these outfits. And Mary's like, I don't have an outfit. And then Sigourney goes, okay, I have some leftover, like, leather black fabric. I can make you an outfit. And Mary goes, what for? She's like, for the challenge. And she goes, what part of the challenge? She's like, for the looks. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, and then she goes, when? Where would I wear it? And Sigourney was like, I'm literally going to make you an outfit because you're the only one who doesn't have this black vinyl material outfit.
Or an outfit at all. I don't think she had an outfit at all for this challenge.
She was like, I fully didn't pack anything and, like, fully forgot. And Sigourney was like, I'll take care of you. In which case, like, from the confessionals and the way the workroom conversations, Mary was, like, not at all, like, thankful for it. Like, they were so, like, the immediate customer, they're like, this outfit was supposed to take 2 hours, it's been taking 2 days, like, meh. And I was like, you are getting a free custom outfit from someone who is in this competition with you. Like, someone... I mean,
it wasn't a good outfit, I'll be honest.
It was not. It also was half of the shirt that she
was wearing. She was wearing right now. She's in the workroom wearing this shirt, and then later in the challenge is wearing the same shirt with this, like, black skirt thing.
It was a moment.
I totally could have whipped up something better.
Well, you also are an incredible sewer.
So, should we just get into the runways then? Because that's kind of like the next thing that pops up.
No, the gag is that, so before they go, this part made me laugh so hard. Before they go on stage, they're like, Bitter Betty has, like, a confessional moment. And they're like, I think it's everyone's fault. Like, our group is so disconnected, and it's honestly everyone's fault. And I was like, you better. And they're like, no, except for mine.
Except for my fault.
And then I was like what? What?
I was watching Coco just watch this live on Instagram.
Yeah.
And Coco's reactions throughout the whole episode are so fucking funny. Because she was like, bitch, breaking her neck trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. And at one point, like, Mary leaves the room and is complaining, and you can hear her complaining about, like, Sigourney. And I was just like, oh my God, like, what is the point? Hoso says, like, if you're working as a team together, what's the point in having all these arguments? Like, it's so stupid.
That also, like, one thing that was also crazy is they're in the workroom, and I loved production. I don't know who production got a raise because they are being so shady with the edits, and it is sending me. But Sigourney turns to Mary when Mary's like just like going on, and is just like, let's just hope for the best at this point. And Mary is like, hope for the best? Well, that's not very positive. Like, how dare, like, it just goes in.
I would never say that.
I would never say that.
Cut to the last
production,
challenge,
literally.
The group challenge. They cut to Mary saying, all we can do is hope for the best, to Coco.
I screamed so loud. I was like, y'all better. I know, I wanted to watch Mary watch this episode. Because that moment I would have been like,
girl, she probably don't give a fuck.
Very that. She said, I got my coin. I'm going on the tour. I'm out. Actually, I'm not going on the tour because it's only top 3.
Anyways, so we are getting into these runways, and we are going to start off with the Boulette brothers, who wore these kind of like red supervillain looks with this hair.
See, I'm glad you
their
said
hairline
hero looks, because I was like, I'm getting wrestler vibes, the house down. Like, I'm not getting...
I mean, same thing, really.
Yeah. Like, I wasn't getting, like, rock band. It was very superhero. I think it's the cape. No capes.
Well, I don't think they're dressing for the challenge. They don't dress for the challenge every time.
That's true.
Because, like, how the fuck were their outfits last week, Wild West?
Yeah. Yeah.
These are good looks. Their hairline, I can't tell if the camera blurs it because it looked unclockable. Like, it looked like that shit was growing straight from their head.
Yeah, the hairline was everything. The only thing that was kind of, like, off for me is it really looks like it looks like almost like they just, like, took the wig out of the, like, they just got it mailed to them and they took it out of the shipping box and they didn't, like, kind of fix it. Like, Swan's is a little, like, it looks like the box has kind of, like, pushed it down and, like...
I see what you mean. I still think they look good.
Oh, yeah, they look good. And it's nice. This is the first time I think we've seen them without, like, intense exaggerated shoulders. So it was, like,
more
nice
skin
to see
than
different...
usual.
Yeah, it's a better silhouette.
They were good.
They were good.
So, up first, we have... Is it Lazavaleta first? Yeah.
Yeah.
This was one of my favorite looks of the evening.
Yeah, this was it. They came out, the little prop where it was like the microphone, but the other end had flames shooting out of it. I was like, you better.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say like a leotard, but it's like a really cool like jacket that's covered in studs. It's got some like leather fringe, some very like intense shoulder pieces. And then it has like a necklace that has like a hoop, almost like it's like a chained hoop. It's just a lot of chains
Kinda
and
looks like
studs
this.
And like leather. They're not wearing a wig, but they've got like this like headpiece going on. It's also like some more chains.
No, it's like pins.
Oh,
like
yeah,
safety
Pins.
Safety pins. Is it through her head or just glued on?
See, I thought it was through her head at first, and I was like, oh. And then I looked closer, and it was like glued on.
Okay, because she was wearing that during the rock challenge too, like under her wig. I could still see.
Yeah, and like the tights are correct. You can kind of see some tattoos underneath, which I think that is so sickening. And then they're wearing the thigh high boots that are laced in the front. So it's very like punk rock, red, black, latex, leather, fringe, studs, the house down. There's like an upside down cross in the crotch area. And then they have these like sparks and on the runway, and like almost everyone put their hands in it.
It looked cool.
Yeah.
Especially when we get to Sigourney. She
went in.
Did that. So I like the look. I don't have much.
Also the energy. I will say that. Like we can't see the energy in the photo, but like their floor show, they were doing tricks, they were doing dips. They did like they lifted their leg up, pretended it was a guitar, and like ran across the stage. They were stunting, and I was living for every single moment of it.
Yeah, the Boulets like it when you like perform the runway, not just like walk out. So I was really enthused to see that. So up next we have Dolly, who wore kind of like a God of War. If you know the game God of War, picture that. Now add hair and horns to the top of the outfit. That's this look.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought this was hot. Like, not gonna lie, every time I see Dolly, I'm like, oh my god. Which I know everyone says that, but like, I just thought this was so sexy. I loved the color red. So anytime someone wears red, I'm like, oh my god, give it to me. But they're wearing like a red. It's almost like I know this is the wrong term, but it's like it looks like a corset. Looks like a lobster, like the underbelly of a lobster.
It does look like a lobster.
It does look like a lobster. That's the last lobster in the tank at Winn-Dixie being like, don't pick me. That's made out like the same material, some black gloves. The body paint is really cool. So yeah, I was a big fan. And their makeup, of course. It's like their signature Dolly makeup, and I am a huge fan.
Did they wear white tights or did they paint their legs white?
Those are white tights.
Okay. Can I say something?
Yeah.
This look is just okay to me. Because if you think about it, it's just a corset and then a headpiece. And then some accessories. Compared to, I mean, like, Lazavaleta's isn't, like, too crazy. But it still like accentuates, like, a lot to it.
Yeah.
And compared to the other looks that we see, like, this one is just a safe look to me.
Yeah, but see, sometimes less is more.
But I feel like a lot of people give Dolly, like, a getaway to be like, oh, well, they're hot, so...
Yeah, very that.
Because I've been seeing that a lot lately. I'm like, okay, are we liking the drag, or we just think they're sexy? You know what I mean?
Both.
I mean, they're sexy, and they do good drag. I just think, like, people are relying too much on them being attractive. You know what I mean?
Like, it's very much so, like, oh, well, you know, like, they're a skinty queen showing skin on RuPaul's Drag Race, and all they have to do is wear, like, two pieces of material, and they, you know, make it through. Like, I get that vibe.
Which is, this outfit is a few
pieces of material.
I mean, they're handcrafted well. It looks nice. But I'm just saying, compared to some other looks I saw, this one is just safe. Yeah. Like, it's okay. It's not a bad look. It's just safe to me.
No, very that. I can see that. I'm good with that.
Now, the next look we have up is Bitter Betty. So can you please explain Bitter's look?
Yeah, so it's very, like, rock energy. I didn't understand the neck, so they painted their neck, like, all black down to, like, their chest, but it did not, like, blend fully into the chest area. So it wasn't, like, I didn't get that part. I didn't understand the element of that. But the wig, the wig is very, like, Myspace, rock, scene kid, blonde, blown out, and then, like, has, like, the little, like, straight part with, like, the purple, like, stripes in it. And then we're wearing, like, a tiger print bodysuit. Very, like, what's his name? Joe Exotica kind of vibe, but also, like, wrestling rock vibe. Huge belt, almost like a wrestler belt. And they had, like, a cover-up that also had the matching tiger print on it. And then they were wearing some thigh-high boots as well. They also were not, like, having any tights or anything like that, so they were just, like, exposed butt cheeks and fishnets. So,
do you like this look?
I'm not mad at it. I was like, it was a full, like, to me, it was like a full story, and it was a theme, and I knew what it was, and it did give me rock energy, so I was a fan of it. It's just, like, it's missing it's missing a little bit more, you know? It's very much a leotard and a belt and some boots on a stage.
It is that. Like, I have those boots at home. I have it literally right here. I have the boots right here.
I got the boots.
So that bodysuit could have been bought on Amazon, and if they bought the fabric, that's like 1 yard.
Yeah.
To make up bodysuit, and there's no really good embellishments other than this chunky big ass belt.
And it's hard because, like, they have the idea, like, the print is very rock and roll. The styling is very much so what the energy of what we want, but it's like there's and this could be an unpopular opinion, but there's, like, a fine line between, like, what I would wear at a club and then what I would wear on the main stage of a national, like, level, a global level television show.
Yeah,
like, I would just like you gotta think just what is gonna take this the next level.
The hair is nice, but like you're saying, this isn't. If I wore this and the whole world was seeing me, I'd be like, ooh, not what I envisioned.
Yeah. Simple as adding a little bit more chains, you know, adding some more chains, adding some more around
chains,
the waist.
spikes, volume on the chest,
stoning
on the
top. Leotard a little bit to be a little bit, like, to really just, like, catch the light. Stone the tights, the fishnets.
Add something. Fringe, add something to make it more movable.
Yeah, just add, like, an essence to it.
We are going to take a real quick break. What? Zanny, we are going to take a real quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking more about Dragula, Season 4, Episode 4.
Welcome back, everyone. We are back in... after a little break.
And what are we talking about?
We are talking about Dragula Season 4, Episode 4, and we are in it.
And we are whores.
We are whores.
Up next, we do have Hoso Terrah. So Hoso did this kind of scene early 2000s, like 2000, or actually more like late 2000s, 2009, 2008, Myspace Look, which is funny because they make a MySpace reference to her and she did not get it.
Right over. So.
Yeah, so it's like standard like scene, like blonde hair. This is no shade, but like if you can imagine a scene dress at Hot Topic with like a bunch of like ruffles like gathered at the bottom. And tulle, and then like some stripes, like black and pink stripe stuff. That's this look.
Yeah, it's very much was Hot Topic and Avril Lavigne. She's got a girlfriend playing on her Neopets account. Like,
yeah,
it was one of my favorite looks because it did make me laugh, and I did get the vibes, and like I thought it was a cute way to take like the rock approach that other people were not taking. But actually, I don't have anything negative to say. There wasn't really anything with the butt. I just thought it was fun and it was cute, and I liked it. And I like that they're, like, campy, but they're, like still spooky, you know?
Yeah. This look is okay to me. It's nothing necessarily groundbreaking, but I think it was definitely a safe approach for her, because she could probably do something crazy, and the Boulay brothers wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
So this is, like, something where the Boulay brothers could get and still like.
And then she just didn't get it.
Erica Clash did their baby metal look on the Rock and Roll Challenge. I was like, oh, I totally get this look because I know what baby metal is. The Boulay brothers do not know who baby metal is and did not get the reference. So I was like, okay. So after like seeing like that, like it's clear like why they like Bitter Betty's look is because they love that big fucking punk hair and you know, that's what they like. So if you need to like gear towards what the judges will like, sometimes you just gotta fucking do that.
Sometimes you gotta win.
Sometimes you gotta poop, sis.
Sometimes you gotta poop, sis.
All right, up next is one of my favorite looks too with Lazavaleta. I could see Lazavaleta and Sigourney being in like the same group of like, you know what I mean? So, care to explain Sigourney's look?
Yes, I don't know. I loved Sigourney's. So it's very like Kiss meets like what is the word for this not corset but this silhouette. Victorian,
like Victoria Marie Antoinette.
Yeah, Marie Antoinette, but it's like metal almost. I mean, it's got like spikes coming out on the top, the black kind of latex kind of print. The wig is everything.
Meow meow, they agree. Meow meow.
And then like when they came out, they had these like fans that they like clapped into the sparks. The sparks. So it was like a whole moment. Just the way that it's studded, the way that it's fitting. The way that you can still see like the exposed leg, and like again, I'm a sucker when I can see like your tattoos. I am absolutely in love with that. So like the tattoos are there, just every little detail is so put on, and it's like the thought behind it, like to do a Kiss face with like a Marie Antoinette face, where like they normally have like overly like powdered faces. It like was really funny
it makes sense.
Yeah, like every little thing was kind of stylized. I know they're known for wearing like green hair. The green hair was like a crazy contrast that like I didn't understand, but it still like did not take away from the look in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I think black hair would have been fine. Maybe you wouldn't be able to see too much of the detail with the black hair, which is maybe why.
Or even like a red, like an auburn red, I would have loved.
Oh, red would have been like really nice too.
Just because like this has nothing to do with Sigourney in the moment, but like the background, the visuals are very red, and like I just think it would have registered a little bit more. But like
Sigourney should have planned ahead for the pyrotechnics.
Yeah,
how dare
they should like. Can I see my visuals? That's gonna be behind me when I walk the runway. I need to know what wig I'm wearing.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite looks. I think it looks really good. I think maybe like the skirt could have like flowed a little bit more like down on the sides, but making peplums like that is already really fucking hard. So the fact that it was like at least staying up, the peplums, it looks good because that material looks heavy, especially with the bodice with the spikes on it, the peplums with the spikes on it. I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, I want to see the construction of this because it just has me blown away.
Yeah, and the fanography was really good too.
Yeah.
All right, so up next we have Mary Cherry, and Mary Cherry wore this kind of like Elton John head to toe sequin look with the wings and then horns. Like if you think of quintessential Elton John in sequins with like a feathered look, it's kind of like this look. It doesn't look bad. It was a different interpretation to rock. Elton John is kind of like a rock star. It's okay. I hate the boots though. The boots are too short. I hate boots If you're gonna wear boots, either have them stop at the ankle or at the top thigh. Don't wear ones that stop at the calf. Like those are always just not form fitting.
Yeah, I'm not mad at this look. I didn't understand the element. Now I get it, the Elton John, and like I know they referenced it in the show, and I was like, okay, it's a good look. It's probably one of the best we've seen her.
I would say the same.
Which I was a fan of. It fit her very well, and she her floor show energy was very intense. So I was very happy with the floor show.
She crushed like a monster can out of nowhere with her body. I don't know what that had to do with anything. I don't like that. And it probably was because it was malfunctioning, but she took her wings off and started swinging them around and then threw them on the side.
Yeah, immediately took their wings off. Like they didn't even have they were maybe on the stage for 10 seconds with the wings and then immediately took them off.
And the wings look nice. They don't look terrible.
No, they don't look tearawayable either, but she took them off.
Yeah. And that to me just read that like, oh, my outfit's fucking up. I'm just going to take this off since it's sliding off.
Yeah, which does seem to be the core theme for a lot of their outfits.
Up next, we have, I almost said Fantasia. That is a queen here. We have Saint, which, oh my god, Saint and I must be in the same heads, because on the first challenge, when you were like, who would you have done for, like, iconic monsters? I was like, Leatherface, and I was making this outfit. Mm-hmm. And then when they said Rock Challenge, I thought of it, and I was like, Venus, Shantae, she is super punk rock, and she has a Terry Mugler outfit with the line on it and the handlebars to look like a motorcycle, which looks fucking cool. And I was like, oh, I would totally do the Terry Mugler motorcycle outfit. No, because Saints got me beat and did a motorcycle outfit
literally
here too.
This, when I heard this theme, that's so Vitamin B, they're based out of Houston, and they also have one of these. And it's not the actual Mugler, but it's like a replica, like a remake they have done. And, like, that is where I was like, ooh. And then Lux Queen has one that's, like, Hot Wheels. Like, it's this, but it's, like, Hot Wheels themed.
Yeah.
Like a Hot Wheels motorcycle. And it's so funny. And I was like, this is so camp. This is what I would do. And then when it came out, I was like, literally, they showed the silhouette at the beginning. And I, like, gasped. And I was like, it's the Mugler. It's the Mugler. And I was like, they better get a sponsorship this season. It's just, and for the people who are, like, listening, like, the Mugler, it's, like, a very, like, fashion staple motorcycle corset bodysuit moment
with a light on it and handlebars.
Yeah, the handlebars kind of do the top part of the corset, and there's like a centerpiece that's the light, and then there's been a lot of artistic interpretations of it. This was the like Dragula one, so it was very intense. The hair matched, the ripped tights were everything. I think the shoe was perfect. I think the gloves were perfect. I was like in love with this.
I would say I just didn't like the handles on it. I think the handles should have been like actual handles, and like what Rachel True was saying, like she was like, I wanted to see you grip those handles and fucking perform just a little bit more on the solo performance.
Yeah, I will say that the material for the handles and the skull in the front, I could tell that it was like not sturdy. Like I could tell it was, it gave me almost like, I don't know if this is what it was, but like cardboard and then laminated paper.
EVA foam kind of thing.
Yeah, like it gave me very that. And like, to me, which like, this is, I don't know, this is my mind, but I'm like, you just won $10,000 for winning Resurrection.
20,000, I think.
I think it's 10,000. It could be 20,000, but I think it was 10,000. But you just won Resurrection, girl. So like, I don't want to see, you know what I mean? But also it's not fair for me, because what you do with your money is what you do with your money. That's your own cup of tea. That ain't my business. I just would have liked, like, this is global. Like, I don't want to see...
$20,000.
That was $20,000?
$20,000 was her prize. Taxes, though.
Yeah, taxes. So she got $2 and a Starbucks gift card at the end of it.
And a Buffalo Wild Wings $5 gift card, too. It's okay. I would say, like, some embellishments would have made this even cuter. I do like that. I thought it was knives on the side of her, but it's the bike, like... where you put your feet on.
Whoa!
Is on the side.
I didn't even see that.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like that. And then I wish like the heels, like at the back, kind of like Bayonetta, like instead of a gun, it's like a tire.
Yeah, that would have been cute.
That's like my only change. And like I said, the handles. I believe Coco did this hair on her. I think the hair looks really cool. So.
Yeah, I love this hair.
Period poop. All right, last up we have J. Jolie. And you can explain this look to the audience.
I don't even think I can like, I'm just being transparent. I don't even think anyone could explain this look. I did not get it. I did not like it. I was not a fan. And I want to preface that I love Jade. Like, I think Jade is sickening. Their outfits I don't get. The color story, it's like neon pink meets neon orange, very
I think
Daphne.
it's a yellow.
Huh?
I think it's a yellow. I'm not sure.
Well, it's like a yellow, but like it has orange tint to it, and like the boots are orange. So it's like this weird, it's like it's neon, which is cool, but then they have like, it looks like they didn't have an outfit and they just put together some random pieces because the dress does not match the boots. The boots do match the hair though, but then like the top of it's like these troll dolls and to cut.
It's like a
bra.
It's like a baby face.
Yeah, but you can't really tell, and then like it looks. I don't even know how to explain it. It looked like that like bra that like baby queens get, where it's like got like the chicken cutlets into it, and you're supposed to like wear it, and like baby queens wear that as like a breastplate, and it's not.
Yeah.
Like you don't do that. But that's the vibe it looked like. Lots of fringe, which is cute. But, like, it just swallowed them. Like, it was not proportionate. The jacket was much larger. And their energy, even. Like, they did not look excited or really into it. They did this gag where they have a guitar, again, a gag from J. Jolie, and they go to, like, smash it, and they're like, oh, wait a minute. And they, like, stop and, like, put lip gloss on, and then they, like, go to smash it. But the way they did it, it looked like they fumbled and messed up and, like, dropped the guitar. And I was like, oh, no. And I was like, they're about to have a breakdown on stage. I could pick up on their anxiety just from watching it, which, like, they didn't have a breakdown, but they were so in their head and anxious that it just did not perceive the way that they thought it would be perceived.
I like that aspect to the performance because it added something because she actually smashed a real guitar.
No, yeah, like she did smash
No
it.
one's really done, like, a real product breaking on the show. I think they did in season 2, but I don't think it was like real actual instruments. The outfit though, just I get what she was going for, kind of like maybe like a pop punk, like modern rocker chick, like a pastel punk kind of look.
Yeah.
It was just the stylistic choice of like things not adding up. Like I like the boots, but I think maybe I don't know, the dress contrasts too much with the... Like, if the dress matched the coat more, I'd been like, okay, maybe. But it doesn't. So...
And that's the thing, is like the boots didn't match the dress didn't match the coat didn't match the boots. The only thing is the boots
didn't match the hair.
That's it.
We are given our tops and our bottoms. So our tops are Dolly's team. They're all on the top. They're safe. Dolly wins the challenge, so whatever you do, you finger clicks for Dolly. And the bottoms are the other team. They praise Sigourney. They praise Bitter Betty. They don't really praise the other two, Mary and Jay, too much. We didn't talk about the challenge. So Dolly's team, they do okay. Lazavaleta falls after they do a gag. Hoso's guitar strap isn't on her, so it's just swinging everywhere. The other team, Mary loses her wig immediately.
Within 30 seconds at the gate.
Yeah, I don't think she taped any of it down. What else happened in there?
So Mary's like guitar gets stuck in Sigourney's cape. Literally rips Sigourney's outfit on stage. If I was Sigourney, I would have whooped. Like, I would have been so mad, but like I didn't even notice until the boys were like, it was kind of comical. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, they're going to...
But not in a good way.
Well, see, the way they were doing it, I was like, Mary's going to be safe. They're literally saying that she was so comical on the floor show because she messed up so much. So I was like, oh my God. But yeah.
And she was wearing Vans with fur glued to them. So
yeah.
It just looked like slides.
It was very much so like slides. And she said it's because she's fallen a million times. And every time she's on the runway, she's fallen. And she did not want to fall this time. So she literally wore like just Vans with fur. They looked like slides, like slippers.
Jade... We don't know what Jade was doing. She was just all over the place. At one point, they in their performance, they're like, okay, we're going to give Bitter Betty a solo. And they just hand the mic to her. Like,
yeah.
It didn't read well, which is why they're all up for extermination now. But before, they're like, who should go home? And they ask everyone that, and everyone asks Mary Cherry. Which, Mary Cherry said to J. Jolie when they had their little talk at the beginning of the episode, who gives a fuck what anyone else says? Who gives a fuck if you upset somebody? So I think it's funny, at the end, when they're in the cauldron, she's like, fuck all you bitches for saying my name. It's like, she used your advice.
Very that. Also, what gagged me is like, I don't know. Like, I get that maybe your feelings can be hurt in that moment. If they're going to ask you to say a name and you're in the bottom group out of 4 people, like, you know your name is coming up. And it's not personal. Like, no one is personally being like, just randomly being like, oh, by the way, Mary Cherry, you need to go home. I don't like you. Like, they're being prompted to ask who they think. And everyone was like, based off of this week and the way that it's been going, this is who I would say. And she comes with, like, ready to go, which I get. I would be a little upset as well. But, like, popping off, the only part that I was like, this ain't reading right, is that Lazavaleta kind of pops off on Sigourney, and it's like, you were a bad leader. You were awful. You shouldn't have, like, if your team can't communicate, that's on you.
Yeah,
and I was
don't get whenever, like, Zavaleta's not in the argument, like, she just doesn't mind her own business.
That.
Like, girl, I don't know if it's for TV. It seems like it's for TV when she just brings that up.
I was like, you didn't say that on the main stage, so don't be saying it in the cauldron.
Like, you bitches didn't vote me out. Y'all didn't say, I think she should go home. I think Sigourney should go home because she was a bad leader. No, y'all all hopped on Mary. So why did y'all have a different vibe backstage?
In the cauldron.
Because Mary pops off on Sigourney. Bitter Betty is, like, popping off because they're like, Sigourney was like, I never said to anyone, the reason why I'm making this outfit and doing all this work is because of you. And Mary was like, once I found out you were the leader, I fell in line. And Jade was like, no, you did not, girl. You did not at all. Because a lot of the time when they were doing stuff was Mary Cherry being like, you're not the leader. Like, what don't you understand about the whole fucking challenge when they're like, the leaders are Dolly and Sigourney. Like, why did they point out those names? And I also, at this point, it just seems like everyone is ganging up. And I said this last week, everyone's just ganging up on Sigourney for no reason to have her as the backfall, and it reads a little misogynistic.
Very that.
Like, especially when Bitter Betty goes, you're a woman, you need to stand up and not let these people talk to you like that. It's like, bitch, you a woman too? Why aren't you standing up with me? You're the one dogging on me, bitch.
Also, Sigourney literally was like, I have. Like, when did I not? And then at one point, Mary was like, I came and asked you for help, and I screamed when Sigourney said this, because we were all thinking it, and Sigourney was like, how could you have helped me? Like, full transparency.
What could you have done?
What could you have done? You don't sew, you get in the way, you cause problems. Like, by just moving myself aside and taking care of it was the best thing I could have done. And, like, I didn't like how Zavaleta was like, your team can't get on the same page. There's, because like, a difference from, like, you trying to have a team, and, like, you're trying to get people on the same page, and, like, you getting handed a group of people that literally do not want to work together or with you and are doing everything in their power. To me, like, it shows more of who you are as a person to say, okay, this ship is sinking. I need to do what I can to save us, even if it means pulling myself out. It's very much so, like, if you see someone falling, you don't need to fall as well to pick them up. You wait till they hit the ground, and then you help them up. Like, it was kind of that energy. So I was kind of like gagged that Zavaleta even, like, wanted to chime in at all. I was like,
yeah. It was just reading wrong that they were ganging up on her, because then there would be like, well, you weren't speaking up. And she was like, yes, I was. Y'all kept talking over me. And, like, just like the neglect of recognizing her as a captain to constantly over talking her, it really did read misogynistic. It's like well, actually, I don't need to hear your opinion. I'm going to tell you my opinion. As a cis man, you know? And maybe she wasn't trying to read it off like that, but that's what it was coming off as. Especially when Zavaleta starts chiming in. And it's like, oh my God, be quiet. And then Mary, for some reason, brings up, like, her dead mother. It's like...
Very that.
She was like, I'm not trying to play a game. I only talk to you at this one moment for this specific reason because you seem to think that I'm playing a game. I'm fucking grieving right now because my mom just died before I came here. Like, of course, if I'm a little off and to myself, it's because of that reason. And I don't understand why people feel like you have to, just because someone is oversharing does not mean everyone else has to overshare. Mary, you already, not like, I'm saying Mary. Girl, you don't, just because you are talking about your business does not mean I have to chime in with my business. So to, like, bring that up seemed, like, so random.
Even the way they did it, you knew, because, like, that is where I was like, oh, that ain't cute. It's like, they brought it up for attention. You could hear because they stumbled. They're like, because Sigourney was like, we aren't connected. Well, that was the thing. So they're like discussing being this week, being in the bottom, like being upset. Mary's hurt that everyone says her name, and Mary's like, you guys all think I shouldn't be here, like da 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 da, and then just like turns to Sigourney and is like, you don't like me, do you? And Sigourney's like, this is no relevancy to what we're discussing at all, actually, and like this is wasting time. Like we're all about to be exterminated, and you are now bringing this up, and we've had ample time to discuss this in the boudoir at home. They all live together. Now you're bringing this up, and she was just kind of like, and Mary was like, you've never liked me from like the get go. Very like, you know, Pheromone and Valentina, like I love you, like you don't love me kind of energy. That's what she was going with, in my opinion. And then Sigourney was like, you've not tried to get to know me at all, so this, you saying that I don't like you is not valid. I don't know you. And then like Mary, like it was like she had been waiting and had this statement like for ammunition and tried to say it and fumbled and was
what
like,
about our dead
well,
relatives,
what about
huh,
the fact
bitch?
that you, oh, I don't know you, oh, so I don't know anything about you. And Sigourney was like, you haven't really talked to me at all, which is, we've not seen it. And then it's like, what about my dead grandmother and your dead mom? Like it was so like that, like then Sigourney got very upset and was like, you had no right talking about my dead mom. Like, you had no right bringing her into this. And I could tell, like, and then Mary immediately like, sunk back into their seat and was like, and in that moment I was like...
I don't think she did, though. I don't really think she understood what she had did, because she was just... It was very much just for the cameras. And honestly, I don't even want to dwell more onto this, because it's just going to make me more upset.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, so their extermination challenge is... They're all going to sit in a chair and get electrocuted, and they can vote for who they want to get punished more. Very Saw, which I like this extermination challenge. So
yeah, this is
they're
cute.
all sitting in this like thing that looks like a roller coaster where it like latches down on them, and then they vote for who they want, and it points like their laser at them, and it shocks them. Well, the laser doesn't shock them. It's clearly the chair, but...
Yeah, I kind of liked it because, like, to me, I'd be so scared to do that alone. But to be with people that I knew, it'd make it more entertaining and a little bit more fun, and I would be better mentally. So I liked the vibe of it. At first, Mary wasn't getting shocked.
Yeah, I was like, hello.
So then I was in my mind.
Are the buttons not working?
Well, so in my mind I was like, oh my god, they're not giving her the chance to react. Like they're not giving her the chance because like obviously like the way you react and the way that you handle the extermination is what saves you. So I was like, they're like keeping all the shock to themselves, so Mary can't have a reaction.
Oh, that's kind of smart, though.
That's what I thought it was. So I was like, bitch. And then like Mary started getting shocked, and then I was like, oh, okay, just kidding. But I thought they were trying to send her home.
Yeah, I thought it was a good extermination, better than last week's rodeo.
Yeah, I liked this one a lot. The way the cameras were, I couldn't really see the reactions as much.
It was a GoPro in their face.
I know, like I wanted to see like a little bit, like not. I didn't want to see maybe as close up. Like I kind of wanted to see how they were getting shocked and like all that jazz.
I think what it was supposed to look like was the laser was doing it.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was supposed to look like, how it was happening. They do reveal at the end that Mary Cherry is eliminated in the same sketch from earlier. A guy comes out and like chokes her to death with his legs. That's all I have to say on that. I think the next two people to go will probably be Bitter Betty and Jade, and then that's our top 5.
Very that. I was saying like I think that's the way. I think it's going to be Jade, and then I think that actually, to be honest, it's never like the 5 that you want. There's always like 1 or 2 people who make it in that you're like, ooh. So I could see Jade getting an edit, and I could see someone going home that we really love.
Bitter Betty. No. Oh, I forgot. I totally had the look still up. Oops. So I did ask on my Instagram, what are some, let me read the question. What extermination do you want to see on Dragula? So, one from Audie Top says, one where the ghouls need to lay a bath of hissing, I'm assuming this is what they mean, lay in a bath full of hissing cockroaches. Mm-mm. So like some, I guess, Madagascar roaches. One from It's Mark Questionable says, fucked up obstacle course like American Ninja Warrior, but more exhilarating. I think that would be really fun. That would be really fun. Like have like spikes on a thing that would turn. Clearly, it would cost like a lot of money, but like something fun like that would be cool.
Yeah, because my favorite one is the haunted house one. That was my favorite. So when that was the opening one, I was like, yes. But I love that was so sickening. I was in love with it.
And then Glitter Sam says something Saw inspired. Maybe I feel like that was definitely this episode for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like this extermination was very
What
song
about an
related.
escape room?
That would be fun.
Like you and your team, or you and your person the other person had to get out of an escape room, and it could be like horror themed.
Yeah. One says jumping off a building to one of those big parachute things that catch you. That was A_Chas09. Christian Michael says, I think a flooding drowning simulation would be so cool.
That would scare me so much.
Same. And then I also asked on Instagram, who do you want to see win Dragula Season 4? I got a couple of responses. So Serafina says Zavaleta. Anya Nee says Hoso or Saint. Rance Opium says Hoso. A_Chas09 says Dolly or Saint. Stevie says Sigourney Beaver. Christian Michael says Sigourney Beavis. Synergy Beavis. Actually, they said Synergy Beavis. That's so funny. Another person said, if it's Dolly or Hoso, I don't want it. Wow, so you hate Saint? Wow, racist. No, I'm just kidding. Plastic Housewife says, number 1, Saint. 2, Dolly. Hoso is 3. 2 more people say Hoso. I see Sigourney or Hoso, Saint or Dolly, Coco or Saint. Well,
Girl?
She got eliminated. Hoso, Sigourney, or Saint. So overwhelmingly, it's either Saint, Hoso, or Dolly, and then Sigourney, and then I saw one for Zavaleta.
Yeah.
I think makes sense. Who do you want to see win Dragula Season 4?
I don't know. I want to see either any of that 5. I would be very happy with Saint, Sigourney, Dolly, Zavaleta, Hoso. Like
Hoso.
I'm so content with that 5. Hoso I think would be so sickening, being like from where they're from and like their drag aesthetic and it being so refreshing and new. Dolly, the redemption, like it would be really good to see them come back and just like thrive. I think they're really successful. They're obviously really well polished. Sigourney, I just like love their drag. I love their makeup. I love their style. Like I'm obsessed with them and I've been obsessed with them. Saint, same kind of energy. Like I would love to see that redemption mark. What they're bringing is sickening. I don't think it's like on the same level as what other people are bringing, so I would like to see it a little bit more elevated than that, like for that to happen. But I would love for them
Saint,
to, yeah.
Okay.
And then Zavaleta, like I was completely wrong about who they were, and now I'm becoming so much obsessed with them and enjoying them, and I think they're so creative, and like I would really love to see like that story arc.
I would say the same thing. I think they all offer something different. I'd be happy to see any of them win. So
yeah.
Now, Zandria, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at zanny.ex. You can also find me at Twitter, just zannyx, and on Facebook at zannyx as well.
You can find me on most platforms under Terrah. That's TERRAHCARD. You can find this podcast on most listening platforms and on Stay on the Line podcast on Instagram, Stay on the Line on Facebook, Stay on the Line TC on Twitter, and then on Patreon, patreon.com/Stay on the Line, where you can join the extra special content there, where you get the video edition of the podcast, and you're going to get a vlog soon of me making this outfit. I made the corset. I fucked up making the boots, so I'm going to get to that. Anything else you need to add in?
No, I'm just excited for next week. I am so happy to see you. I hope you feel better.
I hope so, too. Well, we have, and it's top 7 right now, 3 of those people have wins, so 4 people don't have wins. So I'm excited to see if another person will win. Someone else will win a challenge. I think, yeah. I don't know what the next challenge is, so I'm excited to see.
Yeah, I will say that's something excited with the spoilers. I'm not really getting spoiled by anything, and every time I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was the challenge. Like, I'm living for that.
Yeah, I mean, in one of the spoilers I saw, it was like, Mary Cherry goes home first, and then that didn't happen, and I was like, okay.
Great.
Until next time, I'm Terrah Card.
And I'm Zanny X.
And make sure you stay on the line. Bye.
Goodbye.